Hi guys. Well, I'm here today with the beautiful Mel Wells, who went from being a TV actress into following her passion for health, and she now runs the Green Goddess Academy, which is awesome. So I wanted to just have a chat with her today to look at like how she did this and how she sort of like started to monetize her passions, and even not being afraid to even change career into something completely different. So, hi Mel.
Hi! I am so excited to do this.
Yay! I love Mel because she's also another British lass as well. So it's nice to get the Brits on the entrepreneurial map.
Hell yeah. Well, actually, most of my audience, I think, are Brits, to be honest.
Ah, that's interesting. Well, I've got a big American following, so but I like I'm British, so I like to connect with more British entrepreneurs because I think that we need that bit of a push, to put us on the map really. But just give my wonderful tribe of monetizers a bit of backstory. Because first of all, you started off as an actress, and you're kind of famous, aren't you? You're in a quite a famous TV show, which for anyone who's non-British, it was called Hollyoaks, and it's like a soap opera full of gorgeous people. I, I've never
Yeah.
watched it actually, Mel. So you might just tell me what your character was and how you got into that.
Don't do this. Don't do. Oh God.
Well, yeah, show me what your character is then.
Yeah.
Just how did you get into acting?
Um. It was something that I was doing from a very young age. You know, doing all the classes, doing like dancing and singing and performing basically, and being on stage all the time and stuff like that. And so doing the TV thing was kind of like the next step. And yeah, it was really just that. Like, I was one of those kids that was going to all the classes, going to all the auditions, like going to all the things. And yeah, I just loved it. And I guess as I got older, um, the next step was get an agent, start auditioning for things, and that's what I did. And I was just, lucky really, and landed this part in this soap opera, which was I was doing that. I was 18 when I started that, so I was doing that when all the rest of my friends went off to university, which is like college to Americans. So yeah, it was just kind of something that I'd always grown up thinking like, I want to be an actress. This is what I'm doing, and it's funny actually because when I was actually on the show, I felt like, oh my God, like this is what I really wanted. Like I'm living this dream, and so many actors would love to be doing this. Um, and there was like a disconnect. It was like, why am I not happy then? Like,
Yeah.
why am I not happy? So it's been really interesting, like going to a completely different career now.
Yeah, and that's really fascinating because there's a couple of things I picked up what you were saying, and one thing is like you were doing all the classes, and you were doing all the auditions, and really putting yourself out there. And I think like that's a really great transferable skill for entrepreneurs to have, and like that's been a really good grounding, I'd imagine, for you moving into any business really, because being an entrepreneur, especially a solopreneur, it's really all about putting yourself out there and learning as much as you can all the time so you can be at the right level to attract the sales. And obviously, at that time, your sales were getting the job.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
I mean, being an actor really trains you for rejection, and it really like it forces you to put yourself out there all the time. So I really have no fear now when it comes to like doing stuff for my business that might make me feel scared because I've had so many years of just putting myself out there and make myself look like a complete idiot in auditions and do crazy, like the stuff they make you do is mental, honestly, some of the stuff. But yeah, it gets you used to like realizing that you can't please everyone. You're not everyone's cup of tea, but you have to just do it. Like you have to put yourself out there. And I guess because I did like between acting jobs and after I left the show, I did a lot of like modeling jobs for various agencies and clients. And again, it's the same thing. It teaches you that you are going to get rejected a lot. You're not perfect. You can't please all the people. So you may as well just do your own thing and see who does fit, who is a fit for you. You know, you're not going to be a fit for everyone.
Absolutely, Mel. And you know, that's the one main message I give out to like all of my clients is you've just got to be you, because you know you can't please everyone. Like you said, you can't please everyone for a start. Fact. So what's the point? You may as well just be you. And there's people that's going to hate you, and there's people that's going to love you. You know, and the ones that love you are going to come in.
Exactly. You know, in the modern world, there's that many different genres of jobs. And I know that I fit best into sporty jobs and happy, smiley commercial jobs. Whereas, like, I would get cast in, like, catwalks. And I got sent home because my shoulders were too big. Or, you know, I'm trying to think, like, another, like a fashion job. And they said, oh, no, your rib cage is 1 centimetre too big. And I lost the job. Yeah, because, like, but I didn't go home and think, like, oh my God, I'm going to change myself. I'm not perfect. I just thought, well, you're not my kind of client either then.
Perfect.
Bothered. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly it. And that's a perfect explanation, you know, what it is. Like I try and get across to my tribe. It's like, yeah, don't be like pulling your rib cage apart. Why go and try and make your rib cage a centimetre smaller when you can just be like, do you know what? That's obviously not my ideal job.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly,
you know, that's a perfect analogy in a way, you know, because I like to teach with humour, as you know, and that's great. So rather than, you know, people thinking, oh my God, you know, I've just got to be me, it's like, well, that's a perfect example. You know, they're going to people that come along and say, your shoulders are too big, your rib cage is too wide, your feet are too weird. You know, it's like, oh, do you know what? Sod off.
Do you know what? Maybe you're not the right client for me either.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have all the clients.
That's right. That's right. We've got our own piece of the pie for sure. So that's really awesome, Mel. That's a great humorous way to showcase that kind of transferable skill of what people need to be aware of when they're going out in this world, being visible and trying to attract the clients they want. So moving on, I want to just like ask you, like, you know, there must have been a crossover, I guess, where you're into health. I mean, obviously, when you're doing modelling and acting, there is a part of you that has to look after yourself physically, so you look good, you feel good, you know, you've got good skin and everything. But at what point did you realise, like, this is actually something I want to do as a career?
Well, to be honest, when I was acting, modelling, doing all that stuff a few years ago, I wasn't looking after myself, which was really the main reason for this movement. No, I was really not looking after myself. In fact, I was a serial yo-yo crash dieter. I struggled with an eating disorder, which I was really in denial about, and still, like, when I say those words, it makes me like go, can't, because I was like so in denial about it. So yeah, I hated, like, because I didn't deal with this rejection thing very well. You know, I just was always trying to be perfect, always trying to change myself to please all the people. So yeah, this wasn't something that I've just kind of been, you know, I've not always had this good relationship with my body. It's actually been something that I really, really struggled with for many years. Sure. So I guess to answer your question, I was obsessed with food, but in an unhealthy way for many years. So I was really obsessed with the latest diets and, oh, maybe I'll go raw, and oh, maybe I'll go vegan, and maybe I'll do this diet, no, maybe I'll do the fasting, and maybe I'll do this diet. And so I was obsessed with food, and I was obsessed with nutrition, but really I was obsessed with dieting, you know. Yeah. So I decided to train in nutrition, and really it was a passion that I kind of thought, well, I want to learn more about it because maybe then I'll be able to fix my own body, basically. And this, what I didn't realise was just a broken down relationship with my body. And a couple of other things happened. My dad passed away quite suddenly from cancer, and I had never connected cancer or any disease with what we're actually eating or how we're eating. You know, I'd never really studied that or even looked into it. So that really made me go, wow, people need to know about this. People need to know that there are certain foods that are increasing these risks and certain foods that are decreasing these risks. So for me, it was like, well, I have to do this. It wasn't like a business move. It wasn't like I'm quitting acting, I'm quitting modeling, I'm going to be a nutritionist. It was just like, I want to learn more. So I'm just going to learn and be a student while I, still do the acting and modeling thing, but I'm just going to learn basically.
That's brilliant, and I want to like just touch on that, because what I tell people in the entrepreneurial field is like, you've got to go with the thing that you would be so passionate about it, you would do it even when you're not being paid, and you want to voraciously study as much as you can, So what I hate to admit it, but I'm a massive marketing geek, and I will literally read a marketing book for fun. That's, that hands up. There you go. I've got a problem. I love reading marketing books. So, and I think that's brilliant. That's a great example of that exact philosophy. It's like, you didn't think about it like a business move. It was just something you really had the desire to learn, and you wanted to further your knowledge, and you are willing to go and be a student of that thing and admit that you don't know very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the time, I was just dieting for a living, basically. All I was doing was like looking for the next diet and trying to, I guess, just mess around with my food. So I wanted a real knowledge of actually what I was doing. But yeah, you're totally right. And it's still like, I know that I am running a company and a business, but it still doesn't feel like a business. It just feels like a mission and like a passion and just like a thing.
Yeah.
It's never felt like a do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's just what I do. It's just who I am. It's everything.
Yeah.
So there's no danger of me kind of going, oh, maybe I'll try something else for another business. This is just ingrained in me.
That's brilliant. Yeah, and it's the perfect business model. It's something you're so passionate about. One, you want to learn as much as you can about it. Two, you just want to do it anyway, even if not getting paid. And then three, you just enjoy doing it now as an actual business. And now you are getting paid for it, but you would still be doing it anyway, even if you weren't. And that's what real passion is. A lot of people mistake being into something as passion, and but they're only thinking about the end result of the money and what they can charge and what products they can make from it. But this is brilliant that you've just gone into it like a for you, and you're willing to be a student as well. A lot of people aren't willing to be students. They want to know it all and then be like, I just want to know it and then do it, and I don't need to learn anymore because I know everything. But we're all perpetual students,
We are, and I'm still a student. Like, I am still a student of my clients. Every client I have teaches me something new, and I'm like, oh, yes. And I'm like, go and write about it. I'm like, oh yes, that's that. So like, really, like, I wouldn't. My business has developed along the years, and really when I started, like, I was teaching them what I learned in nutrition school. Really, I was teaching them how to eat and what not to eat. And as I worked with more and more women, I realized that, gosh, what, like, a recurring thing here is like this guilt around food and this like shame and this real judgment and like this beating yourself up for the foods you're eating, beating yourself up for not being the weight that you want to be. And I was listening to and I was like, I felt like my job was constantly just picking these women up off the floor. And I was like, this is the real difference that I'm here to make. It's to make women actually be kinder to their bodies. The healthy lifestyle is a huge part of your self-love. It shouldn't be something that you're beating yourself to death with. It should be something that you enjoy and that you do because you respect your body. And for me, that realization was like massive, like, oh my God, like earth-shattering moment, because I was like, oh my God, like that is what I struggled for years with. It wasn't knowing what was good for me. I knew, to eat fruits and vegetables. I knew that I should be making green smoothies, but I didn't know how to stop this inner battle with myself and my weight and my food and my body. So that for me was like, that's when everything changed. And that's the message that I have now. It is still about nutrition and health, but it's more about your relationship with food and your relationship with your body.
Yeah, it's brilliant, Mel. And I want to pick up on two things there. And one of the things is like, you came to that conclusion after you'd already worked with a lot of people and you were paying attention to what they were telling you and the struggles they were having. And this is like gold dust for any entrepreneur. No matter what field you're in, you've got to just start working with clients one-to-one and listening to them, because that will like have a massive impact on your business and what it is that you do. Because sometimes we start off in business like you probably did the same, like you went and did your qualification, and then you leave and you're like, oh, I'm going to be a health coach and help tell people what food to eat, and actually what you've ended up with is something completely different, because you listened and you paid attention to what your clients were really struggling with. And it's not always what the clients are telling you. You have to like learn to pick up and read these signals. So that's one awesome thing. That and then to not be afraid to move into that zone and be like, that's what my mission is. And that's great. That's such amazing insight.
Completely. And I think one of the biggest things that entrepreneurs struggle with is to have all the ducks in the row before they start. And like, if 2 years ago I had known, like, I didn't have a clue. Do you know what I mean? I just started and was just like, let's do it.
Yeah.
let's just do it. And I had no idea that it would develop into what it has done. No idea. Like, it was just a side thing for me for a while. I had no big plans to take over the world in my business. It was really just a passion.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it? It's like, this is the thing, when you are aligned with your passion, and you start listening, and you start before the ducks are all in a row. People wait and like, oh, I need the perfect package to put out. That's like, well, you won't even know what the perfect thing is until you start actually helping people, because then you listen, and then that informs your work. So it's like a two-way street all the time. So that is the beauty of starting before you kind of really know exactly what path you're going to take. But you did the groundwork. You went and got your qualification, you did your studies, you were willing to be the student, and then you come out into the world and like, I'm going to help people. And then you listened, and then that totally informed what to do next. So now you do have the big thing that you can help people with. And you're absolutely right. People do have. It's not always about the food. We all know what healthy food is. No one's so stupid that they think McDonald's is actually good for you. Hopefully anyway. But it's the relationship people have with their health. Is a much bigger problem. Like say, eating disorders are rife. Not just the obvious ones like anorexia, but even things like perpetual trying out different diets. Jumping from one big new thing to the next new thing, hating on yourself, for having some cellulite, it's a tough world.
It is, and like a lot of the answers are like you said, like they're not in the food.
No.
They're not in the nutrition. People are, a lot of the women that I begin work with are still searching for that like perfect little golden nugget that's going to tell them, oh, you really should have been going raw, or you've been doing the wrong food combination for all these years, god damn it. And it's really not. Usually it's actually emotional eating that is actually going on here. It's you don't have to buy every new diet book. You don't have to change your diet every time you see an article that's shared on Facebook that says one thing different the next day than it does a week later.
God, yeah.
But I think everyone's so confused by all the stuff, and it's really impacting you, like your relationship with your body. So there's no perfect diet, I think, is the bottom line.
No, there isn't. I totally agree with you. We're bombarded with these messages like, I got my flat stomach because I gave up onions. No, I got my flat stomach because I was vegan. No, I got my flat stomach because I had stopped being vegan. And it's like, my God, how's everyone supposed to make sense? There's all these people on, bikini girls, and I love following a lot of them, because it gives me inspiration, to work on myself, But it has got to the point where it's like people are like, bananas are great. No, bananas are fattening. No, you've got to eat fat to be skin. No, you've got to avoid fat to be thin. No, you've got to eat. This is all awesome stuff, because I think, like you, that we've become so inundated with all this confusing information that we need people like you to bring people back to that center and be like, it's about me, not about all the stupid bits of advice. So moving on from that, have you just opened the doors already, or for the Green Goddess Academy?
No, 8th of June.
Yay! So tell us all about it.
Oh, well, again, it's like something that it's like just a mission. It's like part of the mission. Like, it's not even like anything to do with business. It's so funny. So basically, yes, I have been fully booked with clients for the last probably 6 to 8 months. So because of that, and because obviously when you are working like one-to-one with someone, you can't, it's not, you can't charge peanuts. Like, it has to be, it's an investment,
Yeah.
So because of that, like, I realized, there's a lot of people that want to work with me and they can't, they can't afford it. They need something that's easier. And also, a lot of people don't want one-to-one every week. They don't want the pressure of the phone calls and like oh no, like what we're gonna talk about this week, and it's time as well. So I have built a huge course basically, and it's all online. It's video and audio based, and it's basically my whole, like, everything that I teach. It's all about completely revamping your relationship with food, changing the way that you see your body. It's about loving your body, like how to actually love your body, like, properly, and actually understand what that means. It's about emotional eating and how to completely quit doing that. It's about looking in the mirror and actually feeling proud of who you are and not having these battles with food anymore. There'll be a lot of information in there about nutrition, about health, about taking care of your body. But yeah, it's all encompassing. So I am really excited to have girls join the Green Goddess Academy because as I said, like, the one-to-one has been amazing for me. Like, I've had some clients that have just had the most insane results, like, and I know that I have such confidence in this program because they have said, this has completely changed my life. Because the thing is, when you change your relationship to food, like, everything else changes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are just suddenly so much happier in yourself, and that impacts your relationships, your career, everything that's going on in your life takes a huge upgrade. So, I have clients that say to me, oh, Mel, since we started working together, I have dumped my boyfriend, or I have put my notice in at this job that I hate. Because it's about self-worth. Like, they suddenly kind of go, I am worth it. That's the bottom line. Is like, I am worth looking after myself and actually being kind to my body. And also I just love teaching in a group environment. So I really, I have a Facebook group, which is like called the VIP group. And oh my God, there are like, I think we're nearly at 2,000 women in there. Wow. And it is so tight and so, like, everyone is so open and honest. And I just love the group. Like, it's really about sisterhood. So yeah, the Academy is to bring more of that.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And what a wonderful way to, what a wonderful rationale to create that, because like you say, people, when we work together with clients one-to-one, we do need to charge proper prices for our expertise. So it's nice, it's nice to also offer, the option, the affordable option too. So making these group programs and membership sites where people can come in and they don't have to pay those one-to-one prices or have the pressure, like you say, of having these calls. They can just come in and move through the materials at their own pace, implement, being part of a group of amazing people doing the same thing. I find, to be honest, even without the course material in a lot of courses, the group is where the magic is. Do you find that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, there's some courses that I have admittedly and then got the Facebook group and got so, like, into the group. I have kind of gone, oh wait, was there a course?
Yeah.
But the course is going to be really special, because I think this work is so needed amongst women. So really, me creating this course is just a way for me to spread my message further and wider, because working with like 10 or 12 people at one time is not spreading the message very far or very wide.
No, it isn't. So it's great. It's a great opportunity, and I'm going to put the links to your Green Goddess Academy because it's in. So what you're doing, taking names for a wait list right now? Is that how you're, because it's not open yet?
Right now, I'm just getting people onto my mailing list because I'm offering a free video training series which will be out on June the 1st, I believe. So whoever's on my list will be getting free access to that, boom, straight away. So it's all about growing the list right now, baby.
Yay! Yes, get as many people getting healthy and having good ratio with their body as possible. We've got this.
And just like getting used to actually talking about the way they feel about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the group has kind of, I think people come in going, I need to cut out sugar. And then they kind of, a couple of weeks later, they're like, oh, do you know, actually, I am beating myself up really badly every day. Maybe that needs the work.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to like just stop eating fruit. Maybe that's not the answer.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, we like you say, we focus on like the little things when actually the big job it gets ignored.
Yeah, exactly. It can be like, like I said, like a lot of girls are like, right, I think I need to do a juice cleanse. I think I need to cut out sugar. I think I'm going to go vegan or whatever it might be. And when you actually work with these women, actually speak to them and talk about what's going on in their life, they're experiencing like a lot of stress at work. They're in a relationship maybe that they're not happy in. They've got a lot of pressure on them, and they're turning to food. Yeah. And it's not the fact that they are addicted to sugar. It's the fact that they are emotional eating, and they just need to understand what they're actually feeling.
Exactly. It's like there's not enough sweetness in their actual life, so they're turning to sweetness in their food life.
Yeah. And it's about like fullness. If there's not enough fullness in their life, if their life isn't fulfilled in the way, if they're not fulfilled in the way that they really desire to be, then food is a symptom. That turning to food, just like money is a symptom, like turning to money and like spending loads. It's the same feeling as like going on a big binge. Like it's a symptom. It's not the problem. It's a symptom.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, I'm really excited to see what happens with your awesome academy, and I'm going to put links at the end of this video, so anyone that's really interested in your work, Mel, can go and check you out and get involved. I'm so excited I had this opportunity to like chat with you, because you're one of the people I kind of like keep my eyes on online, because I know you're really going places, and it's great to chat to you. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the group, because I'm in your group, so I love it. I love hanging out in there, and it's great fun. Loads of awesome people. So thanks so much for your time, and I'll see you soon, babe.
Thanks so much for having me.